Welcome back, everybody, to Paddling Pool Grand Finals. Pat wasn't joking when we said it was going to be a short one. We are right here, ready to get into the heart of all the action. We've got Goat, who you have seen be absolute menaces this second half of the stream this evening. But they're going against the great Booyah Gang, who have had an absolutely stellar tournament performance. As I say, they've been on this grind for some time. They have been getting better and better and better, and they've been 2-0ing the competition to get here, and then just 3-1 Chewits Mafia, the second seed. So I'm Chili Boy, Pat is here with me, and here we go, Pat.
Yeah, and we saw Booyah Gang pretty earlier, Chili, and now they are back, and they're going against the final boss. That is good. That has been like absolutely tearing through this bracket and being a terror for everybody they've met. And it's Booyah Gang's turn to show like if they're able to really make them sweat and maybe take games off of them. And it looks like Booyah Gang is going to get that first zone, but wait, is that an in back?
Relatively even so far, like lots of kind of back and forth trades, revenge kills. Goat looking like they've got just a couple of extra picks here now to be able to get some momentum, but Okami getting shut down pretty quick there. Booyah Gang likely to be in a position here now where they can get a retake, so they're holding their own beautifully. Only the 96 alive, and they've just been taken out as well. So Booyah Gang with the first opportunity to create a lock situation. This is exactly what we want to see. We want to see gods bleed, and Booyah Gang right now showing that that is possible.
Yeah, Booyah Gang with like good coordination, standing still, like not being impressed by what Goat has done so far and like the quality of their roster. Really showing what you can do when you are ready to be on the offensive and we challenge that team. And right now Goat just 2 players down. They're going to have to concede that zone probably or not. Well, how do they keep the zone painted blue?
Unless you just casually delete the Tetras out of nowhere as well. Yeah, that is Goat doing Goat things right there. But I do agree with you, Pat, that like even when Goat are getting control here, they are then losing plays. They're not having these really neat, super clean, full wipeout pushes. They are struggling here. They are having to use all of their resources and skill sets. Beautifully done there, getting the pick on still. But as you see, 2 players from Goat down as well. One of them having to jump back out. So Booyah Gang's recovery as well. Really, really impressive. Showing they can hold their own. Going really deep into spawn with the reef. Yeah. Destroying 2 people. Forcing Okami. Forcing Okami to retreat. You don't really see that. But then Okami doing Okami things in the corner. Oh my gosh. What a series of exchanges right there.
And Booyah Gang is just spawn camping Goat right now. They don't care. Oh, a bomb is going to go and stop that inkjet. It looks like Goat is looking to get to that zone and try to paint it, but right now they apply the penalty. It's just 2 versus 1 right now. Both teams have suffered like such heavy losses, but it looks like Goat is back into control of that game and looking to score some points. They didn't have much penalty to get back from because they didn't have that many points, but right now Goat, they have control of the zone and they have the Inkblot protecting the zone, and as you know, the Inkblot is good now, I guess.
Yeah, there's some new meta energy in Goat's comp here, isn't there? There's the buffed, there's the buffed Super Chump. There's the buffed Inkblot coming out in the form of the Vanilla 96. There's some really nice displays of the meta evolution here. We've also seen how powerful the buff Zuka is tonight that the Carbon uses. But Booyah Gang managing to get a bit of a penalty on them, but it feels like they're losing a bit of a grip on mid right now. This is what Goat kind of do. They get that one opening and then they just make you flail for the rest of the game. But it took them 3 minutes, Pat, to get this level of control. Yeah. They are going to hold the zone. That's a brutal wipeout for Booyah Gang to be on the receiving end of. But we have 1 minute and 10 on the clock, and we've seen how impressive Booyah Gang have been this game so far, so I wouldn't rule them out just yet.
Yeah, that wipeout is going to give them the lead, and unless Booyah Gang manages to get a crazy good push right now back from spawn, that's going to be the game for Goat.
Very, very well done for Goat to recover there. That requires them to, keep level-headed, to not get too flustered or phased, and they managed to do that incredibly well in order to recover. But I'm really impressed with how Booyah Gang came out swinging there. There was one point where I thought we were actually going to see Goat get knocked out just because of how good Booyah Gang's hold was looking when they were pushing so deep. And I think Okami managing to take out two people while cornered themselves is probably what gave Goat the breathing room they needed to get back in. But I think if Okami lost that engagement, it would have been over, to be honest.
Yeah, and with that push that Booyah Gang got, like, now it's their counter pick. Now we're going to see them on a map mode where they think they have the advantage. So I can't wait to see that, because Booyah Gang, like, Goat has been, we've seen Goat, this is the third round where we see Goat playing, and the first 2 rounds Goat had just so much advantage, but like they needed a comeback on that game. Really, Booyah Gang pushed them to do everything they could just to get back into that game and get the W. So if there's one team that I want to see the counter pick off, it's Booyah Gang, and Booyah Gang is going to go to Brinewater Springs on Splat Zones.
Yeah, interesting choice. So they want to keep that static objective. I think that did serve them really well, to be fair. Brinewater Springs, I kind of remember more for when it was just kind of the crab land, back when Crab Tank was so OP and everyone used to just crab on the ramp and paint the zone for free. But it has evolved a lot since then. It's become a lot more dynamic and aggressive kind of map mode combination to act on as the meta has evolved with it. So it'll be interesting to see what people do. I think Goat have been really consistent with their comp all evening, haven't they? We've seen Toyo Ben flex between a couple of really good support builds for the NZAP and for the Splattershot Junior, but Okami and Eclipse have been very, very consistent with their picks. So I think it'll be Carbon, Custom Dually Squelcher, and then 2 flex picks, because Phoenix is also very diverse in what they go for. But yeah, Booyah Gang, hopefully they're still having a lot of faith in how well they perform there, and they, rather than get frustrated that game slipped away from them, think about what did we do there that made Goat panic so much, how can we do more of that, and maybe Brinewater is the place to make it happen.
Yeah, like, that composition that Goat had only had, 1 bomb and 1 burst bomb, but otherwise it had a sprinkler and beacons, and that made them have, like, way less aggressivity. Like, their ability in fight was pretty limited, and we see like Goat like ditching the sprinkler for a wall and having 2 burst bombs. That's going to allow them to be much more aggressive and much better in terms of team fights. Right now it's 3 versus 2. Both teams are getting picks left and right. It's just an absolute fight in mid for that zone, and that zone is going to go blue for Goat.
Yeah, I think it was effectively very close to a delayed wipe on Booyah Gang at the end there, so Goat have an opportunity to make some momentum. This is where the Kraken pick comes out clutch to just force people into really uncomfortable positions. Look how deep that Kraken has gone, and even though it will probably go down now, it has cost Booyah Gang so much time, but coordinated specials come out in full force. Crab Tank alongside the Jet and the Reef Slider there to make something happen, and yet somehow Goat get the wipeout in that situation. How does it happen, Pat?
That was such crazy dodges by Eclipse, like just dodging the Reef Slider and then winning the fight. Like, Squelches versus Tetras, that's quite like a matchup, and Eclipse just absolute mechanical control. And that means Goat is back in control, but Booyah Gang is already back at it, already back on the attack, and very good Reef Slider is not going to find anything but really creating all the aggression from Booyah Gang again, going into Goat's favor now.
And Toyo Ben there seemed to be in a 1v2 and managing to come out on top. Not quite sure how they managed that. Maybe we got kind of a funky angle, but that was very, very impressive for them to not only survive that engagement, but get 2 picks along the way. Look at Goat, though. They're feeling that confidence. They've managed to move in so deep, but maybe a little too confident, being heavily punished for it, being shut down. Crab Tank seemingly being used here to get control of it, but Okami doing so much damage. So much damage by hanging around there, and that's going to mean Goat get an immediate recap.
Yeah, Booyah Gang back at it, getting the double. The Reef Slider is going to be cancelled, and on the side of Goat it's going to be just the Squelches jumping out Booyah Gang finally are in control of the zone. I think it's the first time that they're really in control and able to score some substantial points, Chile.
It is, and it's a really, really good capitalization on that opportunity. There is only one player alive right now for GOAT, and they are a Kraken. So if we can just stay away, stay back, wait for them to go back into human form, well, squid form, and then make something happen. But sitting in their wall beautifully right there. Phoenix managing to do some damage. But look at the timer, Pat. Booyah Gang have recovered beautifully. They've got 10 seconds in it. They are finally slapped with a penalty. But that is what we need to see. That is how good they are offensively. They have the zone again. They have free up, Pat. I'm feeling the momentum swing in their favor slowly.
Yeah, Goat managed to apply penalty, keep the lead a bit longer, but Booyah Gang is in control and pushing Goat away. Right now, Booyah Gang are so close to just getting rid of that penalty, and they are so close to that lead, Chile. They don't need that much, and with that Booyah Bomb, they are able to prolong things. And now, it's just a few points, and they're getting that lead.
Booyah Gang, not only with the lead, but a numbers advantage. They are still holding, Pat. 3 down, it is only the 96 Deco alive. The Super Chumps came out, but the Custom Dualies went down. Are we going to see Booyah Gang not only win this game, but win it with a knockout? Because that is one heck of a statement, and they are going to do it. Gods can bleed. You're seeing it live. Dapple Productions, Paddling Pool 226, folks. What a response from a very, very strong opening from GOAT.
Yeah, very good. And like Booyah Gang really showing the resilience and the fist bump. That's like Booyah Gang was on the back foot for like 3 minutes in this game. They were just struggling just to stay alive in the game, but the moment they saw the opportunity, the moment they had something going their way, they had the momentum, they ran with it. And then it was like a masterclass of what to do, how to come back into a game, and how to keep things going your way. Congratulations to Booyah Gang. We have a final, and it's a 1-1.
Absolutely beautiful stuff. And I've got to say, KitKat was part of that fist bump at the end there, but KitKat was on the Nova that game, and I think really showing the niche the Nova can have, because it paints really, really well, quite deceptively well, actually. And also, what we've seen from KitKat in both these zones games is really good ink mine placement within the zone, so that even when you start to lose control, there's some quite significant sparks of damage coming out that also tag you and actually make that retake a bit harder than it might otherwise feel. So I think the use of the full kit by KitKat has been really noticeable as someone that quite likes the Nova and has just been kind of having a nosy at that throughout these games. I'm sorry, Majora, you are having more zones. I know you're crying in chat about having a zones only finals, but look, this is what GOAT want. This is what Booyah Gang want, and we're going to Flounder, and I think we know why we're going to Flounder, Pat, don't we?
It's because these players love it. It's because they want it. I mean, these players, they like their zones, and they like Flounder. They want some they want some fights, and what better map to fight than just the absolute king of the hill? That is Flounder zones.
Oh, I'm just already having visuals of Okami just like dropping out of the sky and slapping people off walls. That is, their comp is built for this map mode combination. You can understand why they did not hesitate counterpicking it, and I think Booyah Gang will respond forcefully. I think Booyah Gang are strong here, but yeah, this is going to be peak GOAT they have to face now. You talked about GOAT being the final boss phase 2 coming right up.
Yep, and it looks like GOAT with very minor changes in their comp. It's going to be vanilla tri-structure on the side of Phoenix. Meanwhile, KitKat bringing back the Nova. The Nova has been doing so much work and being so good with all the inkjets. And on this map mode, like, inkjets are still so good because, I mean, they're jetpacks.
And what we don't have, Pat, here, what wipeout already, 22-second wipeout on GOAT. Booyah Gang showing that they're not going to flinch just because they've been taken here on Goat's terms. Look at how deep Badu was with the reef slide, actually just speed running through the whole map. That's amazing.
Yeah.
But what is quite interesting, there's no tacticooler in this map mode on either team. There's no tacticooler in the compositions, and that means if you get splatted, if you get wiped out, it's going to be more punishing, and it's a big map to have a slow respawn time on.
Yeah, but look at this. It looks like both teams. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a lot of quick respawn that's stacked up for both teams. So I'm not that troubled by people getting splatted, and I think both teams expect to get a lot of fights going on right here on this map. But right now, Goat looking to get that lead back and score some points.
Yeah, and I think the problem for Goat here, just having a look at this, is they've had a lot of staggered deaths. So Okami doing what they can here to keep this momentum going, and what has been troubling for Booyah Gang is they've been going down one after the other, so not even in a position where they can really regroup as a collective. They are trying to do so now. Looks like they're targeting their closest zone by their ramp, but they're having to expend every resource they've got to hang in there. The Booyah does get a pick. There is a player. Toyoben was surviving for ages there, but they do manage to stall the timer, but not without any progress in terms of a penalty, so they're running out of time to make something happen here now.
Yeah, and that's the thing with this map mode. There are two zones, and it's so hard to get both zones. You pretty much need a wipeout in order to get both zones, and Badu trying to get the reef slider in and get some pick, but that's not going to work, and right now Goat are just a few points away from a match point.
Very strong response, especially how quick that game has gone to a knockout when you've got two zones that you're trying to manage, because even if the enemy team doesn't recover, they normally manage to stall progress for a significant amount of time. But despite the incredibly strong opening from Booyah Gang, we saw why Goat wanted to go here. As soon as they got that control, they know how to keep you at bay, and as you pointed out many times with this map, Pat, once you lose that control of your lower area, once the offensive team is set up on top mid, it's so hard to recover.
Yep. And speaking of recovery, it's now Booyah Gang's turn to get the counter pick, and we've seen what they've done on their first counter pick. So we can expect another good map for them and another good game where they will get back. I mean, like, Goat has shown the statement on Flounder zones, but Booyah Gang is not so far behind. He's making sure that they have to work for every inch, for every point that they get, and I don't know yet what's going to be counterpicked, and can't blame Booyah Gang for like thinking long about that one, because this is their final counterpick of the tournament.
Yep, this is their final Hail Mary. This is where they have to go to their happy place, their safe space, where they feel the most comfortable, the most confident, the most organised in terms of their rollouts and their recoveries. And I am so sorry, Majora.
I'm not sorry.
We are having a Triton Cup finals. We are going to zones, but zones on Inkblot, I think, as a map choice, a really solid one for Booyah Gang. Of course, Goat, they're going to be strong here, but with Booyah Gang's composition and the way they've been playing around zones this evening, I can totally see them running what they have been running in the previous games and making some magic happen here. So I do think it's a very sensible choice under the circumstances.
Yeah, I mean, it's a classic. Everybody knows it. Every weapon, every strategy has its perks. It can be good. And at this point in the tournament, it's pretty late. We're pretty tired, and Booyah Gang, like, go with what you know. Go with the plan that you know how it's going to work, that you know exactly how to implement. And like, yes, they're very good players, and the best players, they like splat zones. Get used to it. That's always going to be like that at the end of a tournament.
And also, if you're someone watching this that's thinking of dabbling in the competitive scene, or is wanting to get better at the competitive scene, let Booyah Gang be a lesson to you in that practice and experience and exposure pays off. They have grinded and grinded away at so many tournaments that we've had the pleasure of casting, and they just continue to level up because they continue to adapt and grow and learn just like constantly. So they've done incredible to take a game off Goat, and it looks like they're opening pretty strong here. They're like putting Toyoben in the corner. They have the first cap of the zone, and it's 3 aside. So there's going to be a skirmish to see how this progresses from here. But if Booyah Gang can win this next engagement, this could be a really, really big start.
Yeah, very much, very scrappy right now. Fights are still happening on top mid, and Phoenix with the Tri-Slosher is going to get the advantage on Yoshi. But right now neither team is really getting control of mid. Both teams are just fighting over that zone, and that zone is neutral right now.
It is indeed, until you finish that sentence where Goat got their first cap of the game about a minute in, but they did struggle to get that, and they are still in a relatively even numbers position, so it's a slow and steady at the moment. It's teams really threatening each other, throwing out hitboxes, doing what they can to get some momentum, but both teams holding their own, responding in kind. Booyah Gang now, 4-2, trying to delete someone here with a crab tank. Toyoben trying to escape, but being punished and tracked. Eclipse having to dance around their ramp, but getting 2v1'd. Booyah Gang responding really well here.
Yeah, Booyah Gang right back in, and that pick of Phoenix is very good. It's giving them really control of that left side. They have to make do with the Super Champs though, and with the Crab Tank, helping the Super Champs. It looks like Crab Tank and Super Champs work super well together, to be honest.
They do. That was a beautiful coordination between the two. I was thinking that exact thought as you said it, Pat, and I think I have heard that if you put on Object Shredder, then you can one-shot the Super Champs rather than two-tap them. I don't know how true that is or if that's the case for every weapon, but honestly, seeing how effective Super Champs have been this evening, we might need to think about how we start accounting for them in competitive play more, because they have done their bit in retakes. Looking at it right now, Booyah Gang managed to get a penalty before losing the lead, so it hasn't phased them. Despite Goat having a really good retake, they've responded in kind, and we've got a very, very close game on our hands, Pat, and I'm loving it.
Very close, but it looks like Goat is going to get back in control again. Their penalty is there, but it's not that big, and the Crab Tank. Okay, so it looks like all streamers' internet had a major lag spike. I think the lobby survived, so we're going to have to wait for all teams to tell us how this ended, and if Booyah Gang got to keep that lead that they were so close to losing. So
that is a tragedy. We've been left on a cliffhanger. The Crab Tank deleted the German netcode.
Yeah, and that was match point. This could be the last game.
Oh,
I don't want to go that way.
Oh, it was so back and forth as well, wasn't it? There's Booyah Gang. It felt like they were losing a bit of momentum. I think that's what you were kind of like alluding to, Pat, but we saw how quick they can retake as well, so I'm really sorry, folks. We're in the dark the same as you here. We are super curious as to kind of how this game has gone. I think Booyah Gang have totally the potential to have evened it out, and we might be able to go to a game 5, but Goat, we're looking in control there, so I don't know, and this is going to be the saddest way for this tournament to end if it's over here.
We're just waiting on the results. Like, we don't even know if the lobby survived or streamer crashing. So, like, just speculation. We hope to show you more. Like, what we've seen today, anyways, was like pretty good Splatoon action. I think we can all agree on that, and I hope we can see more. I hope we can see more if German internet will let us.
Yeah, let's hope the German netcode does not let us down. But I mean, you're right, Pat. The caliber of gameplay today has been incredible. For folks that were here for Zarya and Majora's cast at the beginning of the evening, every single set on stream went to a game 3, and a really intense game 3 at that. So, yeah, the gameplay this evening has been stellar. The competition of a really high level, and I think are we getting the tragic news that we didn't see how the tournament is closed out? Is that right, Majora? Is that what you're telling us?
Yeah, it looks like Goat one. I'm waiting for absolute confirmation from the TOs, but they're speaking in German in chat right now, and I can't read German, so I can't say. Oh, we're going to restream that final game. Actually, there's going to be a replay of this final game. So Booyah Gang and Goat are 1 and 2, and we are going to go back to Zones Inkblot, and I hope you're happy if you want to see more Zones action.
Yeah, we're gonna rewind in time and find out how that game closed out. Which, I mean, it was, as I say, it was looking like Goat were slowly gaining momentum over Booyah Gang, but Booyah Gang's retakes have always been impressive this set so far. Like, just in general, when they've been on stream, it's been.
They're not replaying. They're sending us the replay code. You know, we forgot replay codes were a thing, and they're gonna save this tournament. Thankfully, this is Splatoon 3 and not Splatoon 2, and we have replay codes.
Sure. So what we can do, I guess, we can move up to the point where the crab tank play was being made, which was a couple of minutes in, and we can get a sense from there of how that match developed. So we'll just quickly get up the we're just putting in the replay code up now. We'll move to the point where that crab tank was on center pillar, and we will kick back off from there, and we will find out how the game evolved.
Yeah, thank you, Phoenix, for sending us the replay. We want to see that, and we got to. So, I mean, not many surprises in terms of the comps. We've seen the start of this game.
How confusing would it be now if the match just played out completely different to how we remembered it like a couple of minutes ago? That would just be so jarring.
Yeah, I mean, you can show us like the start. That was that long. Like we will see like again, both of these teams like going at each other. We see Okami getting. Don't restart again. Just let it go, bro. Just let it go. Just let it go. we love to see that again, don't we? Like.
Yeah. Well, we might be able to see some slightly different perspectives as well, which would be interesting, just in terms of the kind of positioning and how the plays were made. Because in the initial engagement here, I do believe Booyah Gang slightly come out on top, but then Goat get a very good initial retake. So yeah, it's an interesting one. I've never casted a match like this before, where like part of it we know the story and then the rest of it we don't. But I think if you're interested in competitive play, try to take information from this match and look at how both teams keep regrouping to do the retakes, because it is not an easy thing to retake against a coordinated squad, and yet both these teams managed to do this multiple times this game.
Yeah, and it's really like we can see the awareness of both of these teams, knowing that there's no point painting the zone. You have to win that fight, and that's the priority. That's what you want to do. Like, just 10 points on the zone is not going to change much compared to winning that fight and getting things going your way.
Yeah, and the way the penalty system as well goes is it does reward momentum. You can have a brutal match where you've been down for the majority of the game, and then you just start getting that control. You start holding for longer and longer, and you really can creep up and regain that lead. So the Booyah bomb came out here from Still, I believe, but didn't manage to pick anybody up. But then this was the nice pick on the try, wasn't it? That was very, very clutch, because this was... they're using the cooler try, aren't they? So that has prevented a kind of tactical retake.
Yeah, and then the crab tank in conjunction with the super champ really allowing Goat to just move forward and not care about all the advantage that Booyah Gang had built. Like Goat just moved forward with these two specials. And that's where we were. But I don't think we know much more after that. The crab tank, the cursed crab tank, what we saw earlier, is going to come back, and hopefully the stream will go on. Yeah.
Not yet, because it has just been taken out, but this is exactly where we were getting to. We were like, oh, okay, it's getting really close. There's a couple of points in it. There's penalty retakes either way. But Goat starting to win more engagements. Beautiful double there from Eclipse. There's only the Nova alive right now, and this is where we were getting to, where Goat is setting up to do some major damage, knowing that only the Nova's alive, and the Nova is not a very offensive weapon. And look at this, Tactical juiced up so deep into Booyah Gang's plat. No fear at all. Going down there in an engagement with Still, but this is where it's getting really messy for Booyah Gang.
Yeah, Booyah Gang, they're on the back foot right now, and Goats are rid of the penalty, are in control. It's just the inkjet, the Booyah Bomb is going to come to and try to deny things, but the Squelch is baiting so much of the zone, and right now Booyah Gang just managing to get that zone, get that control, and move forward with it. The extra super champ is not going to be enough to stop the push from Booyah Gang, and Booyah Gang, they have a very big lead to get back from.
They do, but their control here is brilliant. Again, only Eclipse alive and being forced heavily back and taken out. So again, Booyah Gang's responsiveness consistently this set has been incredible. Definitely the most consistent team we've seen this evening in terms of being able to retake against a team of Goat's caliber. But now using all their resources to get some picks, managing to get the assist on the try. But other than that, lots of resources being used for not much gain. And Okami doing Okami things, and then just, that's disgusting. And that is what we know Okami to do. And that is scary.
That was a triple by Okami. Okami again showing us like you can never loosen your guard when there's a carbon on the enemy team. Like you have to stay alert and completely like paranoid of a carbon just appearing out of nowhere and destroying you. But Booyah Gang, they're still in the game. They're back in there. They're not that far behind, just 30 points, and they get that lead. They are so close to getting that lead, and there's just 30 seconds left. If they keep the zone here, they get that lead, and that's all they need. But Goat is getting in again. Like that super champ can, like, they have like specials that just allow them to move forward, and I feel like Goat has just shown us like, yeah, when we want, we just move forward and get the zone.
Well, that whole opportunity really was created by one fizzy bomb from the try that got a pick on KitKat into Tactical, and then a 4-3-3 rush, knowing that they had a numbers advantage. And that being said, despite how well Goat played there, they had to work for that really hard.
Oh yeah.
Booyah Gang showing that they can compete with the greats and they can really make top tier teams sweat. So I think major GGs to Goat for just having an incredible tournament and just being so consistent under very different circumstances and just managing to always hold their own. But you've got to give it to Booyah Gang in terms of how much they continue to grow.
Yeah, Booyah Gang has grown so much, and it's a pleasure to see them in the final. But congratulations to Goat. You are our paddling pool champions, and you're going to get that nice Sendo badge. That was really a very good display of what like the new super champs can do. Like that buff is really good for them, and I can't wait to see more and more teams like really experiment with these weapons and show what can be done.
Yeah, the meta continues to evolve, and it feels in a really healthy place in many ways now. There's so many weapons we've seen tonight that were viable. Like I say, we saw the Bloblobber this evening get a win. We saw a Hydra in a couple of games. We've just seen a good showcase of the Nova as well, and the Nova does have a niche overboard point, if not quite, if also different in many regards outside of the special as well. And yeah, really solid tournament. It's just the caliber of gameplay is just amazing now. It's always a pleasure to be a part of. And thank you so much for chat for joining us and being there with us all. Looks like a lot of people stuck around to see the end of that cliffhanger with us as well, which is fantastic. So thank you very much, because being here with you and being with the community is a part of what makes this so special. And of course, Pat, always a privilege casting with you.
Yeah, it was always a pleasure. And speaking of you, Chili Boy, where can the good people in chat find you?
People can find me on Twitter. I refuse to acknowledge it as anything else. chiliboy_splat. So do come along. I'm just trying to de-rust my tri-stringer at the moment, so I either post clips of that or just random Splatoon content that's caught my eye, or British memes. Where can people find you, Pat?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter too, at @PatAutumn with underscores in between, and that's it for us, I guess. And that was quite a roller coaster of a tournament with so many good moments, and we will see more this week. I mean, this weekend. Is this weekend that there's a Girls Euro Cup? Yes,
it is indeed.
Euro Cup will be this weekend on Saturday, and I can't wait to watch it.
Absolutely, I'll do everything I can to be there as well. Thank you so much for joining us, folks. We have a wonderful rest of your evening. Do remember as well that these VODs will ultimately be uploaded to the Dapple Productions YouTube. So if you want to go over and analyse any of these sets in, specifically, they will be uploaded as well for your viewing pleasure there at a later date. But that'll be us for now. Big thank you to Brownie, our streamer, as well, for just doing such a good job and helping us to keep the Dapples content coming. But yeah, that will be it for us, and we'll look forward to seeing you again real soon.